Today I will show you a shot that requires a little deeper understanding of the cue ball. This is our situation. We are playing 9 ball and have to get position from the 1 to the 2 ball that is far up table. Here you see the whole shot from the player's view when shooting. A lot of you guys may have already seen that the combination on the 9 ball is dead on. Yes, of course it's dead on, and I would maybe play it if I can avoid the scratch. But this video is not about shooting a combo, it's about getting position from the 1 to the 2 ball. This is the contact point if you make the 1 ball into the corner pocket. The cue ball can only go to the long rail. Here you see from the contact point I'm missing the 9 ball as close as possible and I can only hit the long rail. Well, this is all the information you got. How do you play the shot to get position from the 1 to the 2 ball? Just take a few seconds to think about it. A lot of players would play this shot with inside spin. That means you're going from the long rail to the short rail and then somehow up table. But you see, the 9 ball is a pretty big ball, so my task is to miss the 9 ball. I'm adjusting a little bit and trying to go above the 9 ball. This worked, but I hit the cue ball way too hard and I have no shot on the 2 ball. So I'm trying to do the same shot again, but changing a few things, hitting a little softer, and yeah, the outcome is pretty different now. I get position on the 2 ball, but it was just luck. So yeah, I'm trying to change my plan and go underneath the 9 ball. You see, I almost missed that 1 ball and now I'm going towards the corner pocket and I'm scratching. So yeah, again, it's really tough to calculate the exact line if you go with that inside spin. And here, finally I got position, but this was just pure luck. So I wouldn't recommend to play this shot with inside spin because there are a lot of balls in the way, a lot of traffic, and it's really hard to judge and you can't predict 100% what path or which path you're gonna go with the cue ball. But the question now is, how do we play this shot if we don't play it with that inside spin? Remember the part where I told you that we cannot hit the short rail with the cue ball? I'm sorry, I was lying to you about that. It is possible to hit the short rail. But to understand why this is possible, you need to understand how the cue ball reacts when hitting an object ball. Most important thing, the cue ball never travels along a straight line. Except you have a perfect straight-in shot where you either stop, draw or follow the cue ball. Or you play a stun shot to travel along the tangent line. If you don't know about the tangent line yet, you should now pause this video and check out my lesson about how to use the tangent line. The link is in the description. If you know about the tangent line, we can continue. If the cue ball doesn't travel a straight line, on cut shots where you either follow or draw the ball, how does the cue ball move? It's actually pretty simple. The first few inches or the first inch, a cue ball always travels along the tangent line. At some point, the cue ball will leave the tangent line. This depends on, first, how high or low you hit on the cue ball, of course. And second, how hard you hit the cue ball. Let's just take this shot as an example shot and try it out. I will hit the ball 3 times in a row with the same amount of follow. The first case I hit it real soft and you see where I hit the rail. My second try a little harder, you see I hit the rail a little more up table. And now I hit it really hard and you see I'm even hitting the short rail instead of the long rail. So as you saw, it takes the cue ball a little while to leave the tangent line if you hit harder. But now let's take a look at the exact path of the cue ball in the slow-mo. You see the cue ball travels really a short time on the tangent line till it leaves it until the forward spin grabs. That's because I hit it so soft, so the forward spin can grab much faster. Here I'm hitting a little harder and you're seeing the cue ball takes a little while to leave the tangent line, and that causes the cue ball to hit a little more up table on the rail. And here in the last attempt where I hit the cue ball really hard, the cue ball stays a long time on the tangent line till it finally grabs, the forward spin grabs on the cloth and brings the cue ball to the right side of the table because of the forward rotation. The same principle of course applies if you want to draw the cue ball, but I don't want to show that in this video. Well, then let's go back to our actual situation where we had to get position for the 2-ball. And you now see that you can just follow the cue ball and you will miss the 9-ball because the cue ball travels along the tangent line, misses the 9-ball, then the forward spin grabs and will bring you to the short rail. And that's how you play the whole shot. The shot gets so much easier. You can just roll the cue ball in and have a perfect position on the 2-ball, either go to the short rail or to the long rail if you add a little bit of a left spin on the ball. So yeah, the shot is really easy, but you have to know that you're able to play the shot. Now we have to talk real quick from what positions this shot is actually working. This is our shot that we already played. When you follow or draw the ball, the follow or draw forces the cue ball every time to the direction that we're aiming to. This means from the tangent line, the force of the cue ball caused by the follow is to this direction, and that's why we're going to the short rail. If we're coming more from this side with the cue ball, the force of the follow will bring us more into this direction, and that's why we're more likely to hit the cue ball somewhere about here. And if the cue ball comes from this direction, the force of the follow brings us into this direction. And that's why from this angle the whole shot isn't working. This principle also applies in the video where I'm showing you when to use low or side for getting position. The link to that video is at the end of this or in the description. Well, that's it. Just try to play the shot by yourself. Try different angles for the cue ball, try to shoot it a little softer or with more speed. Try to hit it higher or lower on the cue ball and just see what happens. I just gave you an overview in this lesson, you have to try it by yourself. That's it for today guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I really put a lot of work into this video, so if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment or subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you at the next lesson. Take care.